Well, hello, good morning, good evening, wherever you are. I was up at Bratton Camp the other day to shoot the eclipse. And then the news came about this massive wildfire up near the White Horse. And I'd sort of intended on coming back anyway to shoot the White Horse, Bratton Camp, Bratton Long Barrow. And I thought, if I make it today, the wildfire finally went out on Sunday evening. And this is now Thursday. So it's had a good couple of days to settle. We actually had quite a lot of rain overnight last night and early this morning. But you can still smell the burning in the air round Bratton and Westbury. So I'm stopped for the moment. I'm just going to have some lunch before I head on up at the White Horse viewing point. Let me whip you round and show you what we can see from here. So there's the White Horse up on the side of the hill, and we'll be heading up there very shortly. So this is Castle Road. This road was closed during the wildfire as they were worried about it. You can see the blackened area just over to the right. I don't know whether you can pick that up on the screen at all. I think once we get up onto the portway, we might be able to see a bit better. Oh, you can see some of the blackened area just here, right down to the fence line. Well, this is a lot emptier than it was the other night. There's been some speculation about what started this wildfire. Deliberate act was one option. Discarded cigarette end was another. Another one was the lensing effect of a discarded bottle, glass or plastic, perhaps even from the night of the eclipse. Whatever the cause, the reason it took hold so quickly was, quite simply, 7-8 weeks of drought, heatwave, and no or very little rain. So having the rain last night has really helped. Although the ground is so hard that as I was driving here today, wherever it's been raining, it's mainly lying on the surface. It's not soaking in properly yet. So maybe we'll need a bit more rain before it settles down. Anyway, I'm going to try and dodge the rain showers as they come through and try and get some photos of the White Horse, Bratton Camp and the Bratton Long Barrow. Sadly, the best view is from up higher, but the wind is too strong today to get the drone up, so no views from the sky camera, I'm afraid. And it's just started raining again. So I'm going to sit here and have my coffee before I head out. So we're just heading over to the other side of the road from the parking lot where we approach Bratton Camp. And hopefully you can make out there the bank around Bratton Camp. You can see the bare chalk where it's been worn away with people climbing down. Or of course falling down, as I just did. Yeah, the bare chalk is very slippery after the rains. I might have to find a different way back up. And now we've got to climb up the other side, which appears to be a little bit drier than the one I came down, but still fairly steep. And yes, it's definitely drier. And we made it up. Now this is the first of the earth banks. And then we got the ditch, followed by another earth bank. And we can just make out the top of the Long Barrow over in the middle there. So I'm going to wander around, see if we can find a gentler way to cross. Well, I found a much gentler slope here, along at one end of the camp, right into the corner. So I'm going to head down here and up the other side, and I'm going to try and not fall on my backside again like I did before. Yeah, much better that time. And just ahead now, we have the Bratton Long Barrow. I think we'll head over to the Long Barrow first and see if there's a shot to be had there. Not got a great deal in the way of a background. Certainly no foreground. So if I can get anything at all, it'll simply be a documentary shot of the Long Barrow. Okay, what I'm thinking of here is that hill over on the side. It's got some sort of terraces almost on it, which is a nice little bit of texture in the background. If I can get that over on the left-hand side, and this thistle in the foreground giving me some kind of bottom right-hand side anchor with the Long Barrow as the main point of interest. It's not going to be printed and put up on the wall, it's just a documentary shot. But let's give it a go, see what we can come up with. So I grabbed a couple of focus stacked shots there. So I'm just going to wander around the Long Barrow just now and see if there's another angle that we can get it at. Maybe even from the top along the length of it. So we're on top of the Long Barrow now, and you can see where certain bits actually seem to have caught the burning from the wildfire. Definite evidence that the wildfire did reach this part with these burnt plants, although not quite as raging as it was just over there. We can't see it from here. You can just make out part of the burnt over about there. Thankfully, none of the rest of it appears to have been damaged by that wildfire. Let's head back along that way and go and see the White Horse. I'm not risking that chalk. So I think I'll take the steps. Well, after that fairly perilous descent, it's a little sketchy in places. We're now down at the horse's mouth. And following up where we just come from, it's quite a spectacular horse. The problem is, about the only place to really see it all, apart from the viewpoint we were at earlier, is from up there, somewhere above us. But I don't know whether you can tell how windy it is today, but there's no way I would get a drone up today. So I don't know whether I'm going to get a shot from here at all. I think I'm going to have to leave it and come back on another day when it's a lot less windy and I might just be able to get the sky camera up there to take the picture I'm looking for. In the meantime, I can carry on round the top a little and see if we can get it from a slightly different angle. So you might be able to tell why I think the best place to get a photo of that white horse is from directly in front of it, but up in the sky with Bratton Camp beyond. And actually just looking over in that direction, I think that's the rain coming back in again. I better head back to the van. Now there's one other thing here that I'd like to try and capture. It's an art installation. It's called Respect the Range. Now, what you may or may not know is that Bratton Camp here is right on the edge of Salisbury Plain training area, which is a place where army manoeuvres and exercises take place. You may remember a couple of weeks ago, actually I think it was last week's video, I went to Dunscombe Bottom, which is right next to Nook Camp on the edge of Salisbury Plain. We're at the northern edge of it here, and just over to my right, and I'll show you in a second, is an art installation called Respect the Range. Well, I hope you can make that out. There is somebody walking his dog over at it at the moment. And there's even part of the installation is a man with a dog. So I'm going to wander over there and see if we can get an interesting shot. Maybe some of those soldiers in the art installation with a red warning flag for the range behind it. So there's all these life-sized, rusty iron cutouts of walkers, children playing, dogs. You can get right in amongst them. And then you've got these three larger-than-life soldiers guarding the range. And I've just got this vision in my mind of these three with a range flag beyond them. Actually, something like that. Because you can still see the children-sized ones, but the flag is in that gap. So it looks like the rain's coming in again. I'm gonna head back to the van once again. And leave Respect the Range by Standing with Giants behind me. I'm not usually one for art installations, but those are really well made. These silhouettes with cutouts, they really look not lifelike, but accurate. I'm not quite sure what the word is, but it's certainly interesting, and it does get the point across that military ranges are not playing areas. Anyway, I think that's it for Bratton Camp, Long Barrow, White Horse and Respect the Range for this afternoon. I'm quite lucky that I managed to dodge the rain showers, but I think it's time to head back home. So thank you for joining me this afternoon. I hope you enjoyed seeing around here. It's very accessible, so if you wanted to come and see for yourself, it's very easy to get to. I'll drop up 3 words. I don't usually leave 3 words for landscape locations because I don't want them to be overrun. But this is such a well-known tourist area. It's signposted from Westbury and Bratton. There's a big car park. I'm not giving anything away here. And if you do come and visit, I hope you come in better weather than I've had. And remember, if you want to get a shot of that white horse, best thing is a drone, which means a day without this level of wind. According to the weather forecast, we're at 16 to 18 knots of wind. And since my little drone won't fly above about 10, I'm glad I didn't bring it today. Anyway, we are back at Vinnie the van. Fortunately, sliding door side is out of the wind. So, thanks for watching, and I'll see you on my next adventure.